Hi there and welcome to this bonus episode of the Gazette's Hockey Inside Out Show. I'm Stu Cowan and I'm joined by former Canadiens defenseman, assistant coach and 1986 Stanley Cup champ Rick Green, and my Gazette colleague and friend Jack Todd, who's sitting in for Chris Nyland this week. Jack, I wrote a column this week saying the Canadiens don't have a goalie controversy, but they definitely have a battle now between Samuel Montembeault and Jakub Dobes for the number one goalie position. Can you see Dobes eventually winning that battle, Jack?
Yeah, I think he's going to win it. If you took a fan poll, he's won it already, and Montembeault should never start again.
Wait a few games, that might change.
Yeah, we're fortunately in a town where the fans don't run the team, or my God, it would be scary. But I really think he's the better goalie right now, from what we've seen. And Montembeault, he carries the load for them. He eats up minutes. He does a lot of good things. He's a good guy, but, he's still a 900 career save percentage guy. And, Dobes at least, I think, has a higher potential ceiling. His size is a big advantage. You have to see more. I don't think I don't even think they'll announce anything all year. They'll just play whichever of the two is the hotter hand, which is the only thing that makes sense for this year. And then you decide next year where Fowler's out and et cetera. But yeah, I think in the interim, at least between Montembeault and Fowler, Dobes for a while will be number one.
Yeah, and I think it's a case of they will go with the hot goalie. As I said, I think it's a battle. And it's interesting because I wrote this week that Dobes, they're about the same size, but Dobes just looks bigger in the net. And Montembeault was saying after practice before the road trip that he's been looking small in the net, saying his hands are too far in front, he's too crunched over, and that's something he's been working at moving forward. And Dobes is Rick looks more of an athletic goalie. But just your thoughts on the goalie situation right now.
Yeah, Dobes I find is very aggressive. He's the kind of guy, he's not going to sit back underneath the crossbar and wait for the shot to come. He's going to attack the shooter and make sure that he plays big in the net. And 3-0, 1.64 goals against average, 939 save percentage. I know it's only 3 games, but I mean, if you look at the performance to date, he is really, really focused, and he's doing the job, and he's making those timely saves that, unfortunately Montembeault was doing before and he's not doing right now. So this is a healthy situation to have these type of luxury of having 2 goalies that you can go either way with them. And if you're going to go on, who's deserving, well, right now Dobes is doing it. Doesn't necessarily mean that Montembeault won't be able to do it again, but they're going to have to. And if you look at the schedule, what a grind! Just 4 games in 6 nights with travel, it's tough, and they're going to need both these guys to have their A game each and every night, and hopefully stay healthy and stop the puck and have those timely saves that they've been getting with Dobes right now and not with Montembeault. So we'll see moving forward who gets the call, but they're going to need both these guys performing and giving their A games each and every night.
Yeah, Dobes is much more physical. You see, when he goes post to post, he almost knocks the net off its moorings every time. And it's funny watching him. You don't see it on TV, but at the games, during the TV timeouts, Dobes doesn't go back to the bench. He's in his own little world, and he does all these sort of mental exercises. It's kind of fun to watch. He says most other goalies go to the bench and talk with their teammates. But I asked Marty about this the other day, Jack, how important it is to have 2 goalies in today's NHL that you can count on. I mean, last year they couldn't count on Caden Primo. And, Montembeault had to play at one point like 21 out of 23 games. And Marty said not just 2, but 3 goalies. Yeah. Not the 3 goalie system they had back when they had Jake Allen, 3 guys, but having a guy in Laval in case something happens. And you look at that, and, Jacob Fowler down in Laval, Jack, and, Montembeault, a couple of years left on his contract. Fowler grooming. It just seems like this management team puts the building blocks in place as they move along.
Yeah, they know way in advance. I don't see them getting stuck again with a Caden Primo coming in and just completely, He almost chalked up a loss when he had to make a start. Dobes saved them last year. They're not a playoff team last year if he wasn't able to come in and do what he did. So, it's just one more example. It's like everywhere you look, there's depth. So where there's a problem, there's also a solution. Kirby Dach is struggling. What can Veleno do? Montembeault's struggling. He's getting major heat from two young goalies behind him.
Yeah, well, the thing I like with Dobes and Montembeault is they really built to handle the pressure in Montreal. Nothing seems to bother him. Dobes keeps saying, "I'm just having fun here. I'm not trying to take it too serious." And Montembeault, nothing seems to faze him. He's always smiling. He's always sort of laughing. And I think Rick with Primo, that was the problem. I think he just couldn't handle the pressure of playing in Montreal. And I sort of felt bad for him because he gets traded to Carolina. You figure perfect. Place where you can walk the streets, not much pressure, and then he ends up in Toronto, right back under another bright spotlight. But Rick, I know in Washington, and I'm sure parts of your career you played in front of a goalie, you were like, oh man, I don't know. What's that like for the other players in the team when you don't have faith in the guy?
Look, they're as good as their last save. Those guys are a special breed to be able to consistently find ways to stop the puck. Primo was just like a time bomb. All of a sudden, he was standing on his head, making unbelievable saves, and next thing you know, there was letting a bad one by him, and that's what you remember, and that's what inconsistent play in that position does for you. And your career usually is shortened if you can't get any type of consistency in stopping the puck. And it's going to be interesting to see these two guys, how they compete with each other to get the starting role, and who's going to do the job. And it's a good position to be in.
And the other thing, Rick, defensively, they seem to be playing better in front of the goalies than they were, at least at the start of last season when they were sort of running around in their own end, not knowing which end was up. Anyway, that's it for this bonus episode. We'll have 2 more bonus episodes coming later in the week, and we will be back with our regular Hockey Inside Out show next week.